Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Censure severely or angrily. Teaching by giving a discourse on some subject, typically to a class. Deliver a lecture or talk. Did you ever lecture at Harvard? A speech that is open to the public. He attended a lecture on telecommunications. A lengthy rebuke. A good lecture was my father's idea of discipline. Censure severely or angrily. Censure severely or angrily. Summon into action or bring into existence, often as if by magic. Call down the spirits from the mountain. Censure severely or angrily. 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 Dress informally and casually. Censure severely or angrily. Talk socially without exchanging too much information. Censure severely or angrily. Talk incessantly and tiresomely. Chew, food, to bite and grind with the teeth. He jawed his bubble gum. Holding device consisting of one or both of the opposing parts of a tool that close to hold an object. The bones of the skull that frame the mouth and serve to open it. The bones that hold the teeth. The part of the skull of a vertebrate that frames the mouth and holds the teeth. Censure severely or angrily. Beat with a cane. Censure severely or angrily. Beat with a cane. Treat cruelly. A week at British universities during which side shows and processions of floats are organized to raise money for charities. Censure severely or angrily. The deputy ragged the prime minister. Harass with persistent criticism or carping. Newspaper with half-size pages. Music with a syncopated melody, usually for the piano. A small piece of cloth or paper. Cause annoyance in. Disturb, especially by minor irritations. A boisterous practical joke, especially by college students. Break into lumps before sorting. Rag or. Play in ragtime. Rag that old tune. Censure severely or angrily. An act or expression of criticism and censure. He had to take the rebuke with a smile on his face. Censure severely or angrily. Present and urge reasons in opposition. Argue in protest or opposition. Censure severely or angrily. An act or expression of criticism and censure. Rebuke formally. Someone, especially a woman, who annoys people by constantly finding fault. Censure severely or angrily. The mother scolded the child for entering a stranger's car. Show one's unhappiness or critical attitude. He scolded about anything that he thought was wrong. Censure severely or angrily. Come out better in a competition, race, or conflict. Beat severely with a whip or rod. The children were severely trounced. Censure severely or angrily. Teaching by giving a discourse on some subject, typically to a class. Exchange thoughts. Talk with. We often talk business. Use language. The baby talks already. An exchange of ideas via conversation. Let's have more work and less talk around here. Express in speech. She talks a lot of nonsense. Deliver a lecture or talk. She will talk at Rutgers next week. Reveal information. If you don't oblige me, I'll talk. A speech that is open to the public. Idle gossip or rumor. There has been talk about you lately. Divulge confidential information or secrets. Be careful, his secretary talks. Discussion. Talk about as a less formal alternative for discussion of. His poetry contains much talk about love and anger. The act of giving a talk to an audience. I attended an interesting talk on local history. A speech that is open to the public. Language, communication by word of mouth. His speech was garbled. The mental faculty or power of vocal communication. The act of delivering a formal spoken communication to an audience. Words making up the dialogue of a play. The actor forgot his speech. A lengthy rebuke. Your characteristic style or manner of expressing yourself orally. Her speech was barren of southernisms. Something spoken. He could hear them uttering merry speeches. The exchange of spoken words. They were perfectly comfortable together without speech. A lengthy rebuke. The teacher gave him a talking to. A vigorous blow. The sudden knock floored him. The act of hitting vigorously. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Don't knock the food, it's free. Deliver a sharp blow or push. He knocked the glass clear across the room. Knock against with force or violence. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. The sound of knocking, as on a door or in an engine or bearing. The knocking grew louder. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. Negative criticism. A bad experience. The school of hard knocks. Rap with the knuckles. Knock on the door. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. The paper criticized the new movie. Act as a critic. Those who criticize others often are not perfect, either. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Act as a critic. The profession of a teacher. He prepared for teaching while still in college. A doctrine that is taught. The teachings of religion. The activities of educating or instructing. Activities that impart knowledge or skill. Good classroom teaching is seldom rewarded. The profession of a teacher. Computer science. A line of code written as part of a computer program. A message describing how something is to be done. The activities of educating or instructing. Activities that impart knowledge or skill. Our instruction was carefully programmed.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.